Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Luciano, and this video is an answer for Skallagrim on his video about ninjutsu that he recorded last day. So first I like to mention that I am subscriber for Skallagrim. It's been some years already that I have been watching his content, and I really enjoyed the work of Skallagrim and all the content that he had put on his channel, and surely he served as an inspiration for me in doing my own channel. Not only Skallagrim but also Matheson from Escola Gladiatória and many others. And I am a 4th Dan black belt in Bujinkan Taijutsu, and Skallagrim made a react video about one video of a specific dojo of Bujinkan, and he made some points about the way the martial art was being practiced at that dojo, and he did not meant to offend or to attack the Bujinkan as a whole. And Skall also said that he was not trying to offend the person on the video, but talk about how the techniques were demonstrated on that video. And attacking one martial art based in one video is something that is very easy to do, and we see it happening a lot these days on YouTube, because it's very easy for you to find any bad video about any martial art. It doesn't matter if it's Bujinkan, if it's Judo, if it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Karate. You can find a bad example of how this martial art is practiced, and sometimes people generalize their opinion based on that bad example. And this is something that we should not do. I don't recall been doing this on my channel since I started the channel. It's something that doesn't bring anything to anyone. And well, but Skall had some points. He explained it on his second video about his points, that it's how the techniques were demonstrated, were practiced, and how they were recorded on that video. And not generalizing Bujinkan from that video, it's a very wise choice, because Bujinkan in the world is not homogeneous. Each dojo has its way on how to train, and even the forms, the katas, may differ from one dojo to another. And by the way, I even consider myself the worst student at my sensei's dojo. Now about the points that Skallagrim made on his video. First, about the slow motion uke. Uke is the one who receives the technique. Sometimes when we are going to practice, especially with someone who started at the dojo, the person doesn't know how to do things, and they go at a slow motion. But it's also the case when someone who started to train, and they go at full speed, especially if you are a black belt. And I say that you should be prepared for an opponent that comes at full speed at you at any times. And this is how we train here at my dojo. You may see that every time that I'm training with my students, they always attack me at full speed. Doesn't matter if it's an armed attack or if they are armed with wooden swords or daggers. when it comes to teach the techniques, you must go slow. So you can see that the sensei is explaining what he's doing, and I do it. So you can see, for example, I teaching one technique and I training this technique with one of my students that knows the technique. So it's important to notice the difference of the moment when the instructor is teaching the technique and when they are training this technique, especially when both Oke and Tori have some level of expertise on that technique. Now about the wooden log that people have had talking about in many videos, not only Skallagrim, on YouTube. That particular weapon is called Nyoibo. The big problem with the Nyoibo is that it's very hard to find one example. I don't recall here at Brazil of any dojo of Bujinkan that has one Nyoibo at least in the traditional form. So the easiest way to get one Nyoibo is to take a wooden log and put the string on the end, and it's the closest that people can get to the traditional Nyoibo. And the problem of the Nyoibo is that it's a weapon very hard to demonstrate techniques. It's like a sledgehammer. There is no safe way to hit someone with it without going at slow motion. And now about testing the techniques on sparring. This is something that may be made with some techniques. Okay, we can see this being made on Hima and other martial arts, but the problem is first, this is not how traditional Japanese martial arts are trained. So if you consider that one martial arts it's only good martial art if it has some sparring, you are going to throw in the waste all the traditional Japanese martial arts of Kenjutsu and other schools of archery, and you name it. Handori or sparring is something that was born with Judo and with Kendo. And those traditional Japanese martial arts had trained without Handori or without sparring since battlefield times. And I doubt they are going to change this right now. Well, and some techniques I believe they are impossible to test in something like sparring, because like if I'm going to train with you one technique of disarming, for example, you already know I'm going to try to catch your weapon. Now about the problem of the action points that we see in some videos. This is a problem that may occur by many factors. Like, for example, sometimes the Uke receives one attack that if it was real, he would be dead. And he just stands still, like if nothing happened for him. Because he's not getting really hurt. And I saw in some videos in the past Even sometimes the master hits the person with a sword, a wooden sword of course, on the torso or in the head, and the person stands like if nothing happened for him, while he should fall on the ground like someone that was cut by a sword. And this is a problem when doing such techniques. So for example, this kata of humble or half staff. Often when we see people practicing this kata, this technique, you do the strike to the hand of the uke, and he doesn't let the dagger fall. And the target of this technique is to break the uke's hand, the enemy hands, so he lets his dagger fall, and then you go to the head. So I instructed my student, so when I touch your hand with the stick, you let the dagger fall. So I don't need to hit your hand so hard that you will feel pain and let your dagger fall. And after this, retreat, because you lost your weapon, and I will give chase and hit you in the head. But we could also change this, so after I hit his hand, he could advance against me. This is something, an option that we can do. And deviating from the kata, something that we call henka or variation, it's something that is very important because it gives you the opportunity to train in those situations different from the kata. When the enemy tries something that you were not expecting. So, what would happen if instead of doing this I should do that? You can exploit those situations with henka. The problem is that you are creating something, and sometimes people don't know what they are doing. But you should always keep in mind that if you were hit by a boken in the torso, you would be dead. So one hit and you fall on the ground. Don't stand up waiting for a second, third or fourth attack after being cut on the head, on the neck or in the torso. And now about the demonstrations with the Naginata and the bow. First, about the Naginata, that was a poorly demonstration of how to use the Naginata. If you were surrounded by enemies and you have a longer weapon, you should use this reach advantage to control the distance between you and your opponents, and use the Naginata to attack from a safe distance. Maybe he was trying to create one situation where the attackers start to get in the way of each other. This is something weird, but it's something that happens in real life. And I experienced something similar when I worked with security, something that you can call a bouncer on nightclubs here in Brazil. And sometimes when you have one fight between 5 or maybe 8 people, you can see that you have 2, 3 or 4 who are actually fighting, and the rest of the people, they simply don't know what to do. They simply try to do different things, and one starts to create problems to the other. But that is not how Naginata is used. And about the staff, about the Rokushakubo, that movement using the foot to throw the staff to hit the hand of the enemy. It's something that simply does not exist in any kata of Rakushakubo in Bujinkan. It was something that was made at the moment, surely, and that was not formal kata in any form of fragment of any technique from Bujinkan. There are some techniques where you throw your staff at your enemy, but this is not how you throw your staff against your enemy. So this is it. There are many points where I agree with Skallagrim, and many points that we have to explain how things happen. And I really hope that Skulls watched this video, and I hope that everyone that watched this video liked it. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Also, if you're not a subscriber for my channel, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.